Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Thursday, the 9th of May 2024, the year of 1,000,000 transactions per second or more. Take custody of your digital assets today at rockwallet.com, including Bitcoin SV, the original protocol, and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's get into it. Been so much to catch up on, but anyway, let's start off with a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history, just because I love it. I love it. So let's see where we cut off from us, and there we go. It was the 1st of May when Friedrich Hayek first said, "I don't believe we shall ever have a good money again before we take it out of the hands of government. We can't take it violently. All we can do is by some sly roundabout way introduce something they can't stop." That was the last one that we did. So let's start off from the 2nd of May. Cool, we're now the 9th. So like just 7 days gone by. So epic day this in Bitcoin, the 2nd of May. So on the 2nd of May 2016, Gavin Andresen, creator of the Bitcoin Foundation and the individual known to have inherited the role of lead developer for Bitcoin off of Satoshi Nakamoto, publishes a blog titled "I believe Craig Stephen Wright is the person who invented Bitcoin." And check this out, whenever you click on this link, see, look at this, look. It encourages you not to go onto. I mean, this is just outrageous, absolutely outrageous. Like just blocking for people. Look, that's all it is. They just don't want people to see what he's written. And look at this. So, and again, they've twisted his arm and made him say this. So this is February 2023. I don't believe in rewriting history. So that's basically what he's saying. So I'm gonna leave this post up. But in the 7 years since I wrote it, a lot has happened, and I now know it was a mistake to trust Craig Wright as much as I did. I regret getting sucked into the who is or isn't Satoshi game, and I refuse to play that game anymore. So somebody's pressured him to stay out of it. But he said it here, look, I don't believe in rewriting history. You know, read between the lines on that one. When he said, "I believe Craig Stephen Wright is the person who invented Bitcoin. I was flown to London to meet Dr. Wright a couple of weeks ago. After an initial email conversation convinced me that there was a very good chance he was the same person I communicated with in 2010 and early 2011. After spending time with him, I am convinced beyond a reasonable doubt Craig Wright is Satoshi." Epic, absolutely epic. And then also on the very same day, the 2nd of May 2016, John Matonis, monetary economist, co-founding director of the Bitcoin Foundation with Gavin, and chief economist at Cypherpunk Holdings, also published a Medium article titled "How I Met Satoshi" and names Craig Wright as the creator of Bitcoin. Epic, epic. Look, and this is still up there. Look, "How I Met Satoshi." There we go. Look, Craig Stephen Wright, Sydney, Australia. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There we are. Loving that. Oh, come on. Here we go. Back to where we were again. 2nd of May. So that was John Matonis, How I Met Satoshi. And then also on the 2nd of May, check this out. So after having initially released an article on the 8th of December 2015, pointing the finger at Craig Wright being Satoshi, and that was Wired Magazine, the very first magazine to do that. Wired Magazine publishes another article naming Craig Wright as the inventor of Bitcoin, titled "How Craig Wright Privately Proved He Created Bitcoin," and that again was on the 2nd of May 2016. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Not signed up to that, but you know what I'm getting at. There we go. Close that one. Then also on the 2nd of May 2016, after having initially released the article on the 9th of December, pointing the finger at Craig Wright being Satoshi, Gizmodo magazine publishes an article quoting Gavin Andresen as saying, "I was not hacked and I believe Craig Wright is Satoshi." Now let's have a look at this. Gavin Andresen, chief scientist of the Bitcoin Foundation, said at a conference today that he believes Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous inventor of Bitcoin. Andresen said that his accounts were not hacked before his endorsement of Wright as Satoshi, countering speculation from some in the Bitcoin community. Wright, an Australian computer scientist, revealed himself as Satoshi in a blog post and in articles published today in The Economist and the BBC, 6 months after parallel investigations by Gizmodo and Wired identified Wright as a strong Satoshi candidate. Blah, 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 blah. Epic. And we know the powers that be don't want anybody reading those anymore. And this was the article from The Economist. So 2nd of May 2016, The Economist publishes an article referencing the claim that Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous inventor of Bitcoin. Let's see if we can see this. There we go. Craig Stephen Wright claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto. Is he? So again, getting more publicity there. And then also, this was the article from the BBC published on the 2nd of May 2016. This was the one. Brilliant. Love it. I love a bit of Bitcoin history. And then we've got here, so this was the conference on the 2nd to the 4th of May 2016. Gavin Andresen gives an interview to the BBC at BTC 2016 Blockchain Technology Conference in New York, saying that he met up with and was shown cryptographic proof beyond a reasonable doubt by Craig Wright in London that he possessed the private keys from the very first Bitcoin block. Let's have a look here.
Job done.
We'll have a
Perfect.
listen.
So we have.
Skip that.
The kind of person that I was interacting with way back in 2010, and he provided some cryptographic proof using the private key from the very first Bitcoin block to show that he possessed that key. So although it's impossible to prove something like that 100%, I think for me, he's proved it beyond a reasonable doubt.
There we go. Loving that. He also actually gave testimony on stage at the BTC Blockchain Technology Conference in New York that Craig Wright showed him cryptographic proof that he possessed the private keys to the very first ever mined Bitcoin block. Let's see if we can see this one here. Here we go.
On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing. And so that kind of sealed the deal for me, convincing me. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number 1, the very first mined Bitcoin block, on a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
Epic. There we go. So that was the 2nd of May. 2nd of May back in 2016. What an epic day. I mean, who would have known all the skullduggery that would stem from all of that? But anyway, on the 3rd of May 2014, the first known NFT called Quantum was minted on May 3rd, 2014 by digital artists Kevin McCoy and Anil Dash. And later in 2021, so 7 years later, sold via Sotheby's for $1.4 million. $1.4 million. Good grief. So 3rd of May 2014 was when the first NFT was ever minted. On the 4th of May 2015, Hal Finney was born. We all know the story about Hal Finney. On the 4th of May 2008, Coindesk.com domain was created. I wonder what that was all about, because white paper was released on the 31st of October 2008, and Craig had released other papers, or released the Bitcoin white paper to the Sands Institute, and then prior to so this is actually prior to that. So in May 2008, Coindesk.com domain was registered. So I wonder who was doing that. Whether it was to do with, well, who knows? It just seems a little bit suspicious that was registered in 2008. I suspect the powers that be knew potentially what was coming, with digital coins and all that, and thought, right, we'll just get in there now because we know that they spy on everything that everybody does. So maybe they were, plotting what is going on today, creating this massive conspiracy. Who knows? On the 5th of May was when Warren Buffett said Bitcoin is probably rat poison squared. Check it out. Found the article here as well. That was published on May 7th, but he actually said that on the 5th of May, referring to Bitcoin. That was a very famous moment in Bitcoin history. And then on the 6th of May, 2010, the flash crash happened, where $1 trillion was wiped off the Dow Jones in 36 minutes before bouncing right back. Check this out. There we go. Look at that flash crash. Boom, straight down, bounce right back. $1 trillion wiped off the Dow Jones. Yeah, look at it. It was on May 6, 2010. Flash crash, also known as the crash of 245, or simply the flash crash, was the United States $1 trillion flash crash, which started at 2:32 p.m. and lasted approximately 36 minutes. Overview: stock indices such as the S&P 500, Dow Jones Industrial Average, and Nasdaq Composite collapsed and rebounded very rapidly. The Dow Jones Industrial Average had its second biggest intraday point decline from the opening to that point. I remember, I made a documentary on this, which we'll maybe get to now. So 4 hours, 27 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's see if we can find this. Here we go. Must be around here somewhere. Where is it? 4 hours, 27 minutes, 10 seconds. This was epic. Epic.
Almost innocent.
Here we go.
On May the 6th, 2010, at 1400 hours, 42 minutes and 44 seconds, the US stock markets go into free fall. Dow Jones takes the fastest and most dramatic nosedive in its history, an event that will be remembered as the flash crash.
1053, so 90 handles? That's too much.
Here you go. I'm told it's 835. The Dow ticker. Wow, almost 1,000 points. We call this a capitulation.
There we go. Epic, epic. And again, all of this skullduggery, and again, what they did, by wiping off $1 trillion, is all they just simply did is just like they did in London in 1815, sent a message back that Napoleon had won when he'd actually lost. Created a flash crash fire sale where everybody in London thought their shares were going to be worthless because Napoleon was going to, take over London. And then they got the news back 3 days later that Wellington had actually won. After which they'd already sold everything. And again, same thing here, just the flash crashed and then it bounced right back. So the shares go down, they scoop up pretty much the entire market for nothing, getting the majority shareholders or shareholdings in most of the corporations. That would never happen if the world run on Bitcoin. If the world, this can only be done when people control centralized servers that these services run on. This is why the world has to run on Bitcoin. Cannot stress this enough. Otherwise, literally, just criminals are going to run riot, which is what they're doing at the moment. And then on the 7th of May 2013, Mike Hearn implemented the regression test mode. They called it a reg test. Released with Bitcoin Core version 0.9.0. Again, wasn't really too sure about that, but this is what it was. Refactor change specific tweaks into CC chain parameters class and introduce a reg test mode. I don't really know too much about that, but that's your little bit of Bitcoin history on that day. And then on the 8th of May 2016, Vladimir van der Laan said there is something truly fishy going on in this article that was published on that date. So let's see what this says. Vladimir van der Laan, there is something truly fishy going on. Vladimir van der Laan, one of the Bitcoin Core developers, has shared his thoughts with the world on recent Satoshi Nakamoto debacle. He strongly feels there is something truly fishy going on, and Bitcoin has attracted opportunists of all kinds in the past. Vladimir van der Laan on Bitcoin and Bitcoin Core, as one would come to expect from one of the lead Bitcoin Core developers. Van der Laan starts off by stating how Bitcoin development industry is a very toxic environment. Despite best efforts by developers, there is always some level of trolling or shilling going on, combined with targeted attacks. Developers all over the world are constantly under a lot of pressure, especially if they work on projects which transcend country borders. Bitcoin is a global movement and there are lots of people with entirely different opinions. All of this is working counterproductive when dealing with tasks that require a lot of focus for an extended period. Decoupling Bitcoin Core from Bitcoin itself. Oh, that was the big hit. Look at that. He's admitted it. Decoupling Bitcoin Core from Bitcoin itself. Oh, this is massive. That's why this is on there. There we go. Decoupling Bitcoin Core from Bitcoin itself was a move made to alleviate some of the stress, but people don't always see the gap between both industries. I mean, yeah, that's what they're saying. They're completely separating Bitcoin Core from Bitcoin itself. So in other words, they've created an altcoin. This was the SegWit protocol. Like, oh my goodness me. Oh my god. So he's actually admitted it. So let's just go back to that. 2016. So that's what they were doing. That is what they were doing because Peter Wool had already started on the idea of SegWit in 2015. And I mean, of course, there was going to be stuff because we know nefarious. We know that SegWit was nefarious. Tampering with signatures is utter fraud. Somebody should have maybe just pointed that out to him back then. But there we go. And then 9th of May, which is today. Oh my goodness me, check this out. This was the Transform Africa Summit. And CSW did his epic speech, which everybody will remember. Here we go. Let's play this. Oh my goodness me. This is Bitcoin history at its finest. Let's just take this right back to the beginning. We can have a listen. Oh my goodness me. Here we go.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you just remove your phones and you type on Google, Bitcoin founder, the name that comes out is Satoshi Nakamoto. Right under it are the words, Australian entrepreneur Craig Wright has claimed he is Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of the virtual currency Bitcoin. Mr. Wright, who lives in London, showed the BBC his evidence that he launched the currency back in 2009. So all this has been alleged, but the man that says he is the founder of Bitcoin is here. So Craig, kindly join us on stage.
So, no thanks for that, but anyway. I'm going to do the bit no one likes. I don't like really caring whether you like me. Now, I'm going to tell you the hard bits. Now, in 2009, the GDP of this country was $5.4 billion US dollars. Now it's $8.4 billion US dollars. That's less than doubling in 10 years. That's bad. Now, I don't care whether you say that's good or whatever else. If you want to go into all this other BS, I'm not going to be like everyone over there who wants to sell you a solution. I don't really care because I'm here for the long term. I'm going to be here in 20, 30 years, and eventually I don't really care what you say. I'm going to be having the solutions you're using. Now, the fact of the matter on this is you can open up and allow free trade. You can open up and allow your country to be more, or you can wait and hand money to a whole lot of people. And I'll say this quite frankly because I've got more money than your country. So I'm not going to ask for anything. I don't want your investment. I don't want, like Stella and everything else, to be handed money. I don't really care. I'm just going to develop solutions and they're going to go out there and they're going to be created and they're going to be used because we can basically make them that way. Now, one thing that annoys me is how, I've got to be happy and tell everyone what they want. No. I'm going to do things so that people can trade whether you like it or not. I don't want an African currency. I want the world. I don't really care about an African, Pan-African group. I want this group of 1 billion and a bit people to go out there and trade with Americans, with the Europeans, with Australians, with Japanese.
Epic, epic. There we go. Craig has vastly improved his public speaking skills since then. That was absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. Amazing. And that was, yeah, so here we know, 2024. That was 6 years ago today. 6 years ago today. I've got more money than your country. Oof. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. I suppose I shouldn't really be laughing, but it tickles me. I think it's absolutely brilliant. He's literally being who he is, before he's been sort of sculptured and all that, and if you actually listen to what he's saying, it's actually really, really positive. So I really like that. So that's Bitcoin history up to date. Right, let's just check it out. So Ryushi said here, interesting week for Copa versus Wright, with the full written judgment from Judge Miller likely to be released in 3 days. Well, that was today. Have we heard anything? No, we haven't. I don't know how on earth Miller is going to justify his judgment, or should I say opinion, because there was no jury there. It's blatantly obvious here that Dr. Wright didn't create Bitcoin, didn't write the white paper, despite his ruling that Craig expended substantial skill and judgment in creating the Bitcoin file format. Like, what? How? I mean, again, all the witnesses, they've all been discredited. Like, how on earth he's going to make a judgment? All right, what's the official thing? How's he going to write it? It's all very well saying it, but it's like, all right, then you're going to justify it. Like, good grief. Anyway, we know. We all know what's going on. More news. Truth Machine here. Great researching here. Said local Monero shuts down as FBI closes in. So this was a public service announcement. Alert number, this is April 25th. Alert on cryptocurrency money services businesses. The FBI warns Americans against using cryptocurrency money transmitting services that are not registered as money service businesses, according to United States federal law, and do not adhere to anti-money laundering requirements. A few simple steps can prevent unintentional use of non-compliant services. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they're going after Monero there. Anyway, let's move on. And also, he said here, Crime-Base's fake Lightning implementation is already broken. Check it out. So he said here, where are my keys and who controls my funds? LightSparks utilizes Operation Signing to make the services easier to use. The OSK private key is encrypted by the customer and stored encrypted on LightSparks infrastructure. In the near future, LightSparks will offer full Lightning signing. In full Lightning signing, the wallet keys are held only by the customer and never stored on LightSparks infrastructure. Blah 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 blah. We know it's a load of crap. Anyway, basically. And also, just in, this was a few days ago now. It says SEC to file lawsuit against Robinhood's crypto business, issuing a Wells notice to the company. Also, we've got SEC calls Ripple's proposed stablecoin an unregistered crypto. Absolutely it is. Unregistered crypto assets, like, good grief. Good grief. And check this out, article by CoinGear. It says BSV blockchain unveils a Mandela upgrade enabling unbounded scaling and other benefits. We're already 24 minutes in, so don't really want to go through that just yet. Close that one. But also on the 7th of May, check this out. So this United States patent was granted to Wright et al. And it's for systems and methods for mining on proof-of-work blockchain networks. So we know what the idea is. Obviously, people can use these patents for free, but only on a commoditized data protocol, not a securitized, centrally controlled one. So it just means that everybody's going to be using Bitcoin, because you don't need to mine on a securitized, centrally controlled protocol, because it's all about competition. It's proof of work that is effectively that creates digital competition. And if your network is centrally controlled, if it doesn't have those 5 elements in place that commoditize the network, then you don't need a competitive network because it's centrally controlled anyway. So you may as well be, proof of stake or pre-mined or Hedera Hashgraph or Otis Tangle, all those centrally controlled pieces of garbage. You may as well be. But there we go. 7th of May 2024. Lovely. Let's have a look at some figures just quickly. Ooh, what's going on here? BTC down to 62,000 and BSV up to 64. So they were almost like for like with taking into account the 1,000x in between them. So basically BTC has to go up $2,000 to match BSV just going up $2. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? But genuine Bitcoin, $64. Let's have a look at block sizes. 61. Okay, yeah, no gigabyte blocks there, but we know it's all about Teranode. Yep, hash rate, proof of work, yada, yada, yada. 25% more profitable to mine on genuine Bitcoin than shitcoin. Transactions by network, shot up a little bit there on Bitcoin. Transactions per block, yeah. Fees USD, sub-cent now back on Bitcoin. Fees Satoshis, still winning there. Block reward ratio, yeah. Blockchain growth by network. Come on, let's have a look at the politics here because we know it's all about the hash rate. Global hash rate 7 days. Global hash rate 24 hours. Cool coin hash rate 24 hours. Other miners with now 3.4% on there. A B crash block size. Other hash rate. Other miners with 56.94 on there. Fisher price cash 25% by the miners, and we can't really look at coin dance because we know that none of the figures are on there. Difficulty adjustment on BTC still all-time high yet again. Yeah, good grief. Hash rate on Bitcoin. So B crashed in blue, Bitcoin in red. Love it. Close that. Mining operations, loving those for any newbies who hasn't seen that before. Let's have a look at transactions. 84,000 over the last 24 hours. BSV mining. So this is on the month. So look at that. So in the month we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I clicked on this earlier. This didn't work. So 24 hours. What's this look like? Oh, never mind. Let's move on then. Article from CoinGeek. Jack Dorsey's block under federal investigation for terror transactions, sanctions evasion. Good grief. Might have to just read through that myself. I haven't got time to go through it now. I was looking at this. Like Prev is working again. Check it out. This is awesome. Really glad to see that operating again. Yeah, 51. Euros. Very good. US dollar, loving that. And I thought this was funny just because I remember this wallet used to have over 1 million Bitcoin in it. But look at this, there's a movement here of 484,000 BSV. So obviously with it being blockchain, you can just kind of just follow the transaction, which I thought was quite funny. Follow it to the address that it's gone to. Oh dear. Here we go. Let's have a look at that. I did find the wallet this had gone to earlier. It had 460,000 BSV in it. Absolutely epic. You shouldn't really have that many Bitcoin in a wallet, but I mean they've moved sort of 484,000 BSV, 484,000 Bitcoin. Oh my god. That was funny. Coin carbon cap. Look at this. So I found this 24-hour thing. Hold Blockchain growth. Look, so BSV blockchain growth 24 hours, 651 megabytes, whereas Corecoin has just gone 245. Literally, Bitcoin wins on every metric. Absolutely epic. And I was just looking at Joho's mempool statistics the other day to see how full BTC was, just for old time's sake. I found that quite amusing. And let's have a look at Crypto Quant. Look, exchanges still cashing out, Tether, I think they've printed 400 million in a week. So that's what's gone in since I've been away. Shorts on Bitfinex. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Let's see what's going on. Oh, look at that. Confidence dipped there, but then going up. Oh, dear, oh dear. Misguided there. Hugely misguided. But, we know the story. Morning run. Yeah, great stuff there. $63. This is Bitcoin versus BCC. Let's see what's going on, how the prices compare. Oh, yeah, trending upwards just a little bit. Let's have a look at BSV USD. Oh, so it's just gone up over last 24 hours. Very good. Overall market cap, $2.33 trillion. Oh my god. BTC volume just 1.84%. That's not much at all. But look at that. Would you believe it? They pumped the price at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So that's probably where the 400 million has gone in. So let's have a look at so that started at 245. Let's have a look. Let's see what that looks like in comparison to Bitcoin. Where are we? Right down here. Oh, look at that. Look. So that was at 12 o'clock. Look. So the price of Bitcoin started going up at 12 o'clock. Look at that. No wonder they pumped BTC. So BTC got the pump at 245. So they were lagging behind. There we go. So BTC got the pump at 245. And Bitcoin got the pump before that. And it's trending upwards. Look at that. Would you believe it? That's actually quite exciting. Let's have a look at liquidity. Where's that? Hit BTC. All right. Let's have a look at Terranode then. Home. Oh, stats since last restart, 1 million transactions per second. Any notifications? We've already gone through that one. Look at that. Amazing. Almost 1 million transactions per second. Love it. There we go. So there we go. That is a 33-minute show. Got a little bit excited there. Had to catch up with everything. Lots to go through. I'm probably going to change the show format a little bit to put news first, but I still love my little bit of Bitcoin history. So if you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to satoshi@senbeat.com. Send me a message. Tell me your Bitcoin story. Let's link up, and I will probably create a group on Signal for us all to meet up and chat on and exchange news and stories and stuff like that. So until then, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.